And we're live.
And we're live now. Welcome to the Johnny Bark Show, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Sunday. We have no football for a long while. But that's why we're here, to talk about random stuff to get the sad thoughts away. So, how are you doing, folks? We got a new background, like the background right there. We got a lovely,
Mr.
beautiful
Bryan
man.
there.
Who is that? Is that your twin?
That's me.
Oh, it
From
is you.
college. I was filming a funny video, and you were in it, I believe.
Was
and
I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like the Fun Times with Bryan series.
We should find those. Do you still have those somewhere?
Yeah, and I'd love to like clip some funny parts in it because I'm pretty sure all of it's on YouTube, but it's not worth sharing out because it's weird college videos. So
Very Tim and Eric inspired, right? Kind of the.
yeah,
You had a character very aligned with Dr. Stephen Brule.
Steve Brule was where the inspiration came from. It was more of like a person that was a little bit more aware, but a little bit less socially capable to do interviews. So it's something I created off of that. But yes, thanks for the chat, or thank you, chat, for joining us.
We just found that photo. I thought I'd share with you. It's a good attention grabber. Or maybe not. Maybe it'll detract people from watching the show. But
I wanted you to show some pictures from Vegas. So
Vegas? Oh yeah, we got. We'll show them later, maybe.
Yeah,
I posted them somewhere.
So Johnny just got back from Vegas. What was that? Like 3 days ago? 4 days ago?
It's been a week almost.
Oh yeah, you came back on Sunday. Monday. Okay.
It's been a week since the Super Bowl already, so
that is wild.
It's been a long week, but also short. Also a short week. It went by pretty quick. I am the good afternoon. Too cool for school with the indoor shades. In reality, I got a cat scratch on my face.
And I was hoping you would show everybody.
I mean, I got in a fight. I got in a fight in Vegas. That's what happened.
Yeah.
You should see the other guy.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. All right, let's talk about stuff. What's going on in your life, man?
Well, I feel like not much compared to what you've been through. I mean, so you did the 30 for 30 a long time ago.
It comes almost a whole year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then it sort of comes full circle here this past week. And you go out to Vegas with Tom, and you are filming all this cool stuff and vlogging.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
You somehow end up in the Super Bowl. You end up at Radio Row. You end up at NFL Honors.
Yeah.
And I'm watching all these Snapchats from you, and I'm like, what the hell is Johnny doing this week? I knew what was going on,
I'm super. It was super blessed with the opportunity. Obviously, Tom could have taken anyone, and I appreciate him taking his whole editor. It felt right with 30 and 30. Follow what we accomplished then. So, let me tweet out. But yeah, what has your week been like? How are you dealing with no football?
I mean,
being a father finally, getting back to your child.
When he cries. Can finally get back to my son. I think he's 2.5 now. No, this week's been good. It's been, and you know what? We were on the podcast train for a while, and we sort of took a break with all the stuff coming up for you. We had a guest cancel, so it was almost like
it was
3 weeks. We had like 3 weeks of nothing, and so that sort of helped me. I started writing for a alternative football network is what it's called. I just write articles for them about the Battlehawks. I saw there was a comment on there. Who said the Battlehawks comment? Anyway, somebody in the chat did. It was Kyle Burbank. Thanks for the shout outs for the Battlehawks. I've been writing for UFL news stuff, getting my feet wet with that, and just talking ideas. But really, I mean, I'm kind of jealous of what you were able to do like 2 weeks ago.
Thank you, Kaylee, for the Dr. Pepper. That came in very clutch. It was harder than you think it was to find Dr. Pepper out in Vegas. A lot of Pepsi-only establishments, and I don't take kindly to that. It feels like no one likes Pepsi. Like, let's be honest, no one actually likes Pepsi. I don't think I've ever met a single person that's like, my favorite soda. Ask them what your favorite soda is, and they say Pepsi. So
right,
it's just it's all business deals, man. All about the money.
Right.
closed doors. And just being a substitute is their lane, and that's okay. But I'm just saying.
And the hard piece is the
Dr.
Mountain
Pepper
Dew
is
tie.
obviously.
The Mountain Dew tie with Pepsi is the hard piece because it's like
See,
I'm more of a Coke person, but I love Mountain Dew.
That's all they have, though. That's all they have.
I mean, I agree. Yeah.
That's why they have to gatekeep Baja Blast behind Taco Bell, because if they sold it in stores, it would be a special.
Did you see that all the stuff coming out about the Taco Bell con or whatever it was called?
Was that real?
I'm pretty sure it was real.
I thought it was like a sketch from something. I
don't know. Maybe it
that's
was.
the kind of like announcement I want to attend. I mean, NFL
Yeah.
Honors is cool, but I want to go to the Taco Bell freaking
Yeah, that seemed like the place to be.
E3, whatever it is.
And they announced. I don't know if that's a legit thing. Maybe in the comments can be like, nah.
Grandpa, there you go. Pepsi's for grandpas. Figured it out. We figured it out.
Diet Pepsi's for grandpas.
No,
if you're a grandpa and you're eating regular
Dr. Pepper, I think that Dr. Pepper has become the new standard, and now it's like it shouldn't be Coke or Pepsi anymore. It should be Coke or Dr. Pepper. That's my proposal. I know it's the syllables, Coke or Pepsi. It's like a quick 2 syllables, and Dr. Pepper is like 3 syllables, so it kind of throws everything off. But
it's kind of cool that Coke has that monopoly, though. I mean,
they only sell it during special times in the summer, and usually it's low on stock. It's like come back next time for Baja Blast, but it's never there. They just
with I like Pepsi and hot Cheetos. I don't know. Pepsi, I feel like Pepsi goes flat really quickly. You know
it takes as soon as you open it.
Yeah,
and it's just not for me. But I think that if you do like Pepsi, I'm not judging you. It's just if you're born with like inferior taste, I'm not gonna like dogpile on you. But
wow, Nick,
it doesn't make your teeth grind. Oh yeah, that was crazy. I just like followed him the whole week actually, and he didn't tell me to go away. It was pretty great.
He actually let him into his hotel room, is what I saw, which was I was surprised.
It was weird. It was very surreal.
They took videos apparently, and those got leaked. So I was surprised as anybody. You know, Johnny's my friend, and I saw that, and I was like, okay, well, that's pretty cool for Johnny and his clout. But anyways, so
when you have the clout, you got to wear the clout glasses here.
Right.
Jude still got the same Jude logo.
Oh, nice. And so one question I had was, Nick pulled this up or commented. We don't have to share.
Yeah, because people thought me and Tom were a couple.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because I have a little brother who is part of the LGBT community. We'll say that. And it's funny when it's just like me and him go to dinner or something. People will think like because we're also like we're half siblings.
Yeah, you don't look.
So we don't look super alike. He does. He has brown hair. I have red hair. So people like half the time they'll think we're a couple. It's funny. Like it's like the waitress left like you two cuties have a good. Or something like that. And when it wasn't as socially acceptable to be gay in public, I guess.
Right.
Like, going back, so it's something I won't say I'm used to it, but like it's kind of humorous, but at the same time, it's also sad. Like, why the fuck do you care?
Yeah, a lot of weird comments about like
appreciate
on that video. But I was watching it recently, and you were one of my favorite things about your trip was the Radio Row experience. And
that was really cool. Yeah, that was really surreal. So I will say it was like it was definitely like he had to act like he'd been there before experience, even though he hadn't. I mean, I've worked in media before, obviously for years and years, but years and years. I feel like I'm really old. For 6 years, I was in the media industry, but so I stumbled upon a few celebrities here and there during my time. But no, it's just everyone being under the same roof, like in media, like that's where everything is. Like even just like your timeline for the day, everything on social media is like happening at Radio Row. All the clips are of players talking at the same place basically. It was a really cool thing, and just to kind of feel part of it. Like I told Tom that I'd never felt so big but so small at the same time. Like to be there where everything's at the same time, you're just like one small fish, and you see all the other small radio stations and all the other smaller channels or whatever that are there because of sponsorships or whatnot, which is fine. Like I don't wish that on everyone get the opportunity, but it's just crazy. You see kind of the inner workings of how it kind of works, and it's really cool for everyone to be there. I don't want to talk bad about anything like that, but
I like the so my two favorite interactions that I saw were the Tom playing Kurt on Madden and them hanging out. That was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, he called me when I missed Brian Branch. I went back to the hotel. I was exhausted. My feet were so sore from the shoes. I ordered my custom shoes I got. They were definitely a size too small, and that was my fault. That was my fault for not looking up. But no, shout out to Zane. He nailed the shoes though. Very great, very great. But that'll discourage me from wearing them. So now they'll sit up on the shelf. When I finally I'm gonna get a shelf here, so they'll probably
yeah. I have several leftover shelves that you can steal from me.
Oh, my mom's here. I love you, Mom. Thank you.
Hello, Lori. Mrs. Thompson. I went to school with Johnny, so if you're still watching, I went to Greenville, so we've probably actually maybe seen each other. I'm not sure, but it's always nice to meet a family member. And yeah, me and Johnny would always make rap videos and stuff like that. We're good friends, so that's how I know Johnny. So I'm not just some random person hanging out with your son.
You don't have to explain to her that.
I just want to say hi to the fam.
I'm sure she remembers you. Yeah, she remembers you.
Oh, she remembers me. Okay, perfect.
I would say the Caesars was definitely. Dude, Caesars was amazing. It was very pricey, but that's where our St. Jude dinner was. I don't know where to say that. But it was such a nice hotel, and everything was great. I mean, I'm kind of a sucker for the Italian old style architecture, and everything kind of built in the style of Rome. It was just huge, honestly. You just go to one casino, and there's big area, and then there's a completely other area, and then kind of the ceilings are they're the main there's a mall area with all designer stores. And it's the swankiest of swanky places, but just the ceiling was Sistine Chapel, in certain areas, it's ridiculous. It's
Now, did you do any gambling? You were in Vegas. Did you do any gambling?
I actually didn't. I didn't gamble at all.
That's interesting.
I was going to. I was going to save it for the last night or something like that. I mean, Tom's not a big gambler, so I wasn't going to take him. So it's he was yeah, feel free. I was like, that's fine.
Did you just be doing it by yourself then?
Yeah, I would have. I mean,
it's not as fun, Well,
he was going to do something roulette or something, but we just never had really a chance. I mean, there was there's a casino and hotel, but by the time we got back, it was usually late and we're just tired. So,
and gambling. I was
still used to Central Time. I mean, yeah, it is. It was wild because it's always open, so it's kind of just always there. And in that way, I think I found it annoying. Honestly, it's the urge, getting me to gamble. I was I'm actually not going to. I don't need to. So.
Well, I've always had this anxiety going into a casino or going into a place with gambling, where it's I don't go enough to where I know exactly where I should be going and what tables and what's the etiquette at tables and even with video poker or whatever, it's I don't really understand what I'm doing for the most part. So I get a little bit anxious when I go into those settings.
Yeah, I didn't trust the machines. I wanted to do it the real I didn't trust the blackjack machines. I wanted a real dealer or whatever that, and a real roulette table. And it's a lot of it's all automatic and stuff now. It's just slot machines also. So I feel slot machines a commitment. You have to sit. You have to know you're gonna sit down for an hour until you win something.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I'm not an expert at gambling, but I will say, what was it? I was meeting DeVito's agent. I saw that story real quick. Yeah. So. It was funny because me and Tom were talking about just random, I don't know, talking about teams that we weren't sure what was going to do for the offseason. I think who's got the biggest question marks this offseason. We were talking about the Giants. Dude, what the heck did they do? Because they're not. They'd have to trade up to get their guy because they're. I mean, it depends on where Jaden Daniels falls. I'm not a draft expert, but it seems he's going to be that third quarterback, maybe number 3, honestly, because someone's going to move up. We can talk about the Bears later. But. Anyway, we're talking about the Giants and whatnot. What we're going to do? I tell him, he's he'll be a serviceable backup. I don't think he'll get a real chance to start. Blah blah blah. And so we're walking just 5 seconds later, walking up the escalators, and we see him from a distance. See it's his hat. I'm oh my god, is that his agent? Yeah, Sean Stiletto. And so I saw somebody else taking a picture with him, and I was oh, you got to think inside the minds of athlete. I don't want to bother people. And that's what a lot of it was. Like, you see all the people and everyone's already bothering them, and they're trying to just get to their next interview. Certain people, I'm like, I know they're not going to care. It's going to just like inflate their ego, and they're actually going to enjoy it. Sean Stiletto was one of the dudes. Like, hey, I'll wait for
I was going to say he probably fits that.
Yeah. So I just shook his hand real quick. I was like, hey, Sean, congrats on the Italian Hall of Fame. Or I just said congrats on the Hall of Fame. Italian Sports Hall of Fame. He just was inducted in a few months ago. It was in a video we did with Perna. And he was grateful. He was, he's like, hey, thanks, man. I took a quick picture and went on my way. But it was very cool. I didn't really stop and chat with him, but he seemed like a really nice guy. And Scooter Magruder ran into him at one of the stores. There was I wanted to think it was like the hat store. There was like this hat store, and I think it was in Caesars actually, or no, it was in the Luxor. It was like between the Luxor and like Mandalay Bay, I think, or whatever. It was MGM, and just like these nice hats. Like it was like built for him, just all the hats. And I was gonna wait there and try to meet him up again by the store. But that's where I imagine Scooter saw him. I don't know what the actual store was, but I imagine it was the hat store.
So who was your, favorite person?
Nick, leave my mom alone. Don't enable Nick. My favorite person, I would say, this just came to mind. I just a lot has come to mind this past week because it just seems very like serendipitous, like very bookendy. Like Tom talked about it, just the way like his Head and Shoulders thing went. With, in case you're not familiar, he was invited to the Super Bowl through Head and Shoulders, and then they sent the email to him by mistake. They invited someone else. And he was the 49ers Chiefs Super Bowl. And so like things like I saw Will Dickey there. That was pretty cool actually. So I actually met him like 10 years ago. So it was kind of funny to think about that. I met him after a concert in Champaign, Illinois, where I live now. I shouldn't broadcast where I live. What city? It's a big city. You don't find my address. But it's just funny that like just from then to now, it's just crazy to think how I was like a college kid back then, and you just like even him. It was before his FX show, so it was very cool to see kind of where things have gone. But no, I saw Lil Dicky. I saw him like walking in front of me. I didn't want to like follow him, but I kind of wanted to photo him. I was like, oh, that's fine. Maybe I'll bump into him later. And so me and Tom were like sitting waiting for Pastor, and he's like walking through like this little walkway. He turns the corner and just walk past us. So I make eye contact with him and just like give him a salute. He's like, what's going on? I said, Dave. I give him a salute. And he goes, what's up, buddy? Like, he shook his head. I was like, what's up, buddy? And then he offered the fist, and I pounded.
Wow.
But it was a cool interaction.
Magical.
Just thinking like 10 years ago and then to now. If I would have got a chance to like talk with him, I would have tell him the story about 10 years ago. He said, but 10 years ago, he said I had the bluest eyes he'd ever seen. And so it was pretty great.
You should have said that. You should have been like, hey, do you remember?
I was like, do you remember my eyes? I was gonna like, hey, do you remember my eyes?
My eyes.
Did these look familiar to you?
Look closer. Look with your special eyes. Nick says, hey, Bryan, are you excited? You're going to get Mitch Trubisky back. When I saw that comment, I quickly looked at my phone because I was like, did we just trade for Mitch Trubisky? No. And it looks like he's trending towards the Browns. But I don't want Mitch back. And,
he's a backup at best.
Yeah. No, I think we talked about this in our fantasy football chat where I felt like Mitch hasn't really earned a spot on a roster, maybe a backup, but most teams would probably pass on him as a backup.
I mean, Mason, like he had his chance. He had his chance for the Steelers, like, and he got it. And Rudolph played better. So,
right.
I mean, that, but it's just like I don't think anyone like maybe a third string.
Right.
It's very sad for Mitch because I like wanted him to succeed, and the Bears failed him. Never really gave him the support he needed, and now they're doing the same thing with Fields, and then maybe they'll do the same thing with Caleb Williams. So,
well, you say that, but in 2018, Mitch was a Pro Bowler.
You know who else was a Pro Bowler? Tyler Huntley.
Which, okay, that was a joke, but
he was, and so was Mitch. It's the same energy.
It is very similar, but Mitch actually did really good that year. He had this game. I was watching replays of that of a game that he played in 2018 versus the Bucks. He had 6 passing touchdowns in that game, and I didn't know he threw 6 in the game. Yeah. And that was the same year. And so he was going off that year. He had like Tariq Cohen.
I think I checked out mentally that year because the Bears were doing good and the Packers were sucking. So that was not a great year.
But well, anyways, back to so you have a funny story about Ian Rappaport.
Oh, I do. I do have a funny story about Ian Rappaport. So he was.
You can tell that one.
See, I forgot. I needed to write things down, so I remember. I'm glad you reminded me of that. So I did bump into Ian Rappaport. Very short man. I don't want to say he's very short. He's shorter than me. I just consider that short because I consider myself short. But no, he was walking. I don't know. He had just gotten off NFL Network, I think, and he was walking from their booth to like wherever he was going. And I just go, Ian, looking good. And he like looked back at me like I said it like I knew him, which was like I don't know Ian Rappaport, obviously. And so he like looked back at me and was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And as he was walking away.
Oh, hey, Johnny.
So I saw, he's very familiar with the show, obviously. So I saw him the next day at the NFL Honors at the bar. Everyone's just getting a little drink, free drinks, Captain Morgan's pass room. And so he's walking by me, and I was like, Ian, I was like, I think I catcalled you the other day. I just want to apologize for it. And he goes, oh, it's okay. Never apologize. So advice from the one and only Ian Rappaport: never
apologize for catcalling. I don't know if I
for
agree
dudes.
with that,
I mean,
for dudes,
maybe you should not. Maybe you should think about it for women.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Ian Rappaport deserves to get catcalled. He's a little sexy little guy.
Well, that was one of my questions sort of stemmed off what you were saying was there anybody you were surprised by their size? Because when you meet people in person, you're like, oh, you're a lot, taller. You're like,
I mean, it should never like occur. Let me think. I saw Greg Olsen. He's a very large man.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm trying to think. Baker was like normal size. Like he's a dude. He's a quarterback. He's like 6 foot. So it wasn't that. Dan Orlovsky, actually, we didn't ran into. We were walking like across the same hall as Dan Orlovsky. He was really tall. He really tall. He's like 6'4", 6'5". But that makes sense. He's a tall quarterback. So. Yeah, it was very. I'm trying to think. There was one other guy that was very large, and I can't remember who it was. But.
So one that surprised me. There was a clip. Who was the? He hosts like NFL Game Day, I think.
Scott Hansen. No, that's not Red Zone.
Maybe not.
I'll tell this story. Actually, I bumped into.
Fine.
At the airport when I was leaving on Monday, and I respect the grind. I saw Chad Ochocinco talking to somebody, and I waited. I didn't get a picture with him, but I was like, hey, Ocho. And then he didn't say anything. Like he didn't hear me. I was starting to walk away, and I go, Ocho, one more time. I was like, oh, it's fine. And then I assumed he didn't hear me the second time. And then he finally turned around, and I was like, oh, hey. Got his attention. I was like, great.
What do you want?
I was like, oh, hey. I was like, I don't want a photo in. I just wanted to I shook his hand. I was like, I just want to say that nightcap is incredible what you guys do in the special. It's very cool. Very cool thing. If you guys are familiar, Chad Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp do throughout the season. They did the nightcap. They called it the nightcap. They have a YouTube channel. It's almost at 1 million subscribers already. They're doing crazy things. You got 60,000, 70,000 people in there. But they'll talk about the games after they're over. And I didn't really start listening to the playoffs. But man, it was a really good analysis. And it's a time no one's doing that. Like people will live stream the game and ended at 10:30, 11:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night. And then no one else is really breaking down the games after that. I mean,
right.
And I just think it's a really brilliant idea. And then they're going live until for 3 hours. So 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. to whatever 3 hours is. So I think it's a really cool thing. And I was going to say we could do something like that maybe eventually.
Yeah. And one thing that I really liked was one thing that they stopped doing on TV that I thought was awesome was they would have Frank Caliendo on a lot doing the impressions.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah.
I miss that guy. He needs to make a re.
Yeah, he's not. I think he worked. ESPN had hired him at one point, and then I don't know where he went. It's all Kevin Hart now and all that.
Right.
Yeah, Club Shay really. They talk about some off the wall topics, but it works for him. It really does. It's what they do. It's a lot of fun. But what's going on, Pizzle? How we doing? How we doing, Sticks? How we doing?
Oh, the fam.
We appreciate you coming in. We're not ending the show yet by any means. I'm just want to Thank you guys for listening to stories and the off track train of thought. But the funny story about Chad Johnson, actually, I didn't get to. Just seeing him was kind of cool because there was like an inside joke between me and my brother Daniel. We were like, it was probably like 4th, 5th grade. I was very young. He was playing Madden, like his Madden franchise, and we would love to play Madden together all the time. Obviously, who doesn't play Madden with their brothers if you're interested in sports? So a lot of people got into football that way. We were playing Madden. It was like his franchise, but I wanted to play. I just want to play a game, whatever. And he was like, okay. So I begged him. And eventually he didn't want me to play the computer because he didn't want me to beat him and he wanted to make sure he won. So it was his last game of the season. It was week 17. And I don't remember what team he was, but he was playing the Bengals. And he eventually was like, yes, okay, fine. You can play, but just don't beat me. I need this game to get into the playoffs. I need to win this game. And I was like, okay, I just want to play around. It's fine. So I'm kind of letting him beat me or whatever. I mean, he usually beat me. Let's be honest. He was better than me. It gets down to like the last, whatever. He's up by like 6 points. I think he was up by like 5 or 4 actually. So like the one last play or whatever, 20. I might call him the 20-yard line. He like scores a game-winning touchdown. I let him score a game-winning touchdown, and then there's room for one more play, time for one more play, and so I throw it up deep. Chad Johnson catches it, and he's like, so I'm like, like pass the safety, so it's like it's about to be a touchdown. He's like, all right, just don't score, Jonathan. Just don't score, so I get in the playoffs. It's not your team. Like you don't care. Like you beat me, whatever. You can have bragging rights. And so like I'm like I'm gonna score. I'm not messing with him. I'm gonna score. And so I'm like, I run to the one and I start running to the side, and I didn't like do it correctly, and I ended up running into the end zones and scoring a touchdown. And he freaks the freak out, like his like prime anger management time for him. He like breaks the basement door and like throws the freaking cabinet or throws like a little container of her Star Wars toys like across the room. It was great. So that was the day one of creating the Madden. So it's been around for a while, guys. So if you're mad at Madden, that's why it's called Madden, I think, right?
Yeah, I remember we had Madden 05 on PS2, and that was the one game that I was like getting very good at. And my brother I was like learning how to do it better, so I would like read the instructions on the pamphlet that would come with the game. And Sticks is going to
have a
Vegas.
safe trip. Yeah, have a safe trip.
Yeah.
Probably, hopefully, lower everything now. It's not as expensive now. Everyone's going.
Yeah. And my brother would get mad because he thought that was cheating because I was reading the controls for the game. And I was like, you can read them too, dude.
My dad used to make us like look away from the screen when he was he'd make our play, and then he would like, all right, look away, so you're not looking at my play, even though there's like the list of 3 plays. It's like
right, yeah.
And then he would get mad that like he accused me of cheating every time I beat him. Like, you mess with the sliders. You mess with the sliders. I know it. And so I have to go and prove it. Like, no, Dad, I didn't.
That's
good
funny.
times. Good times. But,
so and by the way, I can't remember the guy who I was talking about, but if you go to the 1 minute 30 second mark in Tom's video, that's the guy I'm thinking of that inspired that question of are people bigger or smaller than you thought they were? Because this guy at the 1 minute 30 second, I'm forgetting his name, but he's
which video?
I went to the Super Bowl. I think it's the Super Bowl video. And the 1 minute 30 second stamp has, I'm blanking on his name, but he's on like
is so far away.
Somebody in the chat will probably figure it out. You might even know.
Just trying.
Here comes that guy.
Oh, that's James Brown.
James Brown. Yeah, James Brown.
He's old, man. Yeah, he got old.
He looks a little taller than I thought he would. Because
we weren't very close to him. I couldn't really tell, but yeah, he was a larger.
If he's ducking under that thing's probably like 6 foot, like 3 inches tall.
Yeah, how's Jordan Love doing now, Adam?
Jordan Love can't play football. Yeah, James Brown. He was just getting next quarter. He was signing stuff for take pictures with people. I didn't want to bother. I didn't need a picture that bad. But he was also an icon. CBS. That's who I always remember, like watching the Super Bowl and like watching before the Super Bowl. So,
right.
Like, his name is James Brown. That's funny. He's not the real James.
I googled CBS black guy sportscaster. And it kept coming up with Nate Burleson. I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to think of.
He's a really good. He's on CBS Morning News now. He's a very good media guy.
Oh yeah,
and he's on the Nickelodeon thing too. So
doing the Michael Strahan.
If you're not, it's a video game. If you like video games, you like it, but it's fine. Like it causes more grief than enjoyment, and I don't know that. I know that firsthand. Yeah, he's good. He's good, and you know it. He's good, and you know it, Adam. All right.
So I guess to wrap up, so you went to the Super Bowl. This is something that I heard more about your Radio Row experience and leading up to through NFL Honors than I actually heard about your Super Bowl experience. So
yeah, my Super Bowl experience was I liked the halftime show. The halftime show was actually a really good time. The lights were really fun. I wasn't super impressed. Allegiant Stadium's nice. Don't get me wrong. But for a newer stadium, it was never super impressive to me. And then the halftime show came along. I was like, okay, I get it with how they have the lights shows. It makes sense. It is definitely an entertainment venue. There's a Pepsi.
Right. Oh, there's the Pepsi.
Let's try to go to the
because of a sponsor. But
and that was one
I
of
did
the
receive some samples.
That was one of the we had a good discussion at our Super Bowl
2019.
party about if Taylor Swift would ever be a Super Bowl halftime person.
She declined, I'm pretty sure. She said no years ago, I'm pretty sure.
I'm thinking down the road.
Because they don't it doesn't make sense for her. It doesn't. The whole thing is you get to play your music on the halftime show and you get a little, because they always have a boost and streams.
Right.
But they don't pay you. And it's just for
right.
It doesn't make sense why they would pay you, but it's just do whatever you want.
So my thought was, further down the road when you've sort of dwindled, which I don't know if she'd ever dwindle. She's sort of like a Michael Jackson type where she's probably never going to have. But Michael Jackson played the halftime show.
He did. He did indeed.
But a timeless wonder. But I think Taylor Swift's timeless. I'm thinking down the road, would she ever do a halftime show? And I was asking my friends at the Super Bowl party I was at, and they were all like, she would never.
She'd only do it. I think she'd only do it. I think she'd do it now, but she'd have to have the Chiefs play in the Super Bowl. It wouldn't make sense for her to play for anyone else.
Well, this was the thought process. They all said no because I'm pretty sure she's a sponsor for Coca-Cola.
But Pepsi doesn't sponsor it anymore. It's the Apple Music halftime show now.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Didn't know that. That's probably so. That's probably why.
She actually did
probably got more.
Oh yeah, she has a Diet Coke. She had Diet Coke. I thought it was Pepsi for a second. I was like, no, wait. Yeah, I don't think it matters though. I don't think she'd consider that. I don't think.
Coke, I don't know. That was what my friend.
I mean, you don't know. Maybe she does.
But I agree with Jet. Prince was the best halftime show.
She has to finish recording her albums. She has to redo it. Appreciate you, Bash. I appreciate you, man. It was definitely a life-changing experience, man. We definitely still think about it a lot. Yeah, Prince was very good. What was the one a couple years ago? Eminem was good with Dr. Dre, but there was one a couple years before that. It was Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars was really good.
Bruno Mars was my favorite.
He danced his ass off up there. That was great.
Yeah, Bruno Mars.
And Rihanna killed it last year too. Rihanna did really good. But yeah, Usher surprised me. I mean, he has a lot of bangers. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my childhood, but a lot of people said he didn't have the catalog for it. But no, it turned out great. It actually did. And when they brought out Ludacris, it was just the energy was
Lil Jon.
And then Lil Jon. The thing about Lil Jon though is, I was talking to someone about this. I don't know what it is with Vegas, but I feel like their music's 10 years behind. So they still playing LMFAO and Lil Jon. Turn out for what? Every freaking night I heard it in some kind of club or something. So it actually made it. It actually makes that much better. It made it that much better when it came on because I feel like I had been warmed up for this, and so when Lil Jon was yeah in person, it was a little bit. It just went just a little bit. It was great. And when they ended the show, they ended it on the big it was electric in the stadium. It was very very loud, and the lights were doing the thing, and I felt a very, very interesting energy in my chest at the end of the show. It was a great game too. Obviously, first half was a little boring for people at least who like a lot of offense, but you had some some record-setting field goals. That was cool to watch. A little part of special teams history, but it was
true.
It was a good game, and I knew the Chiefs were going to win, and I meant to bet on them, but Vegas doesn't let you log into DraftKings, so I would have had to walk too far to like place an actual
DraftKings to a physical DraftKings store.
No, it's like a casino. They just have their own sports books in the casinos usually.
We have a FanDuel or DraftKings location right across the border here on the Illinois side of St. Louis. You could see the sign. I'm pretty sure it says DraftKings in huge letters, and you could see it across the river.
And they're the two best, honestly. Still, I'll say. All these other ones, ESPN bet.
People
trying to be it, but they're the standard. They're the Coke and Pepsi of sports betting, if you will. But underdogs are the Dr. Pepper because they're the real sponsors over there. Although I think the contract's up. I don't know.
We'll find out, won't we?
We'll see.
So I guess to wrap it up, so you had a good Super Bowl. Thinking moving forward over the summer or over the spring and into the summer.
It's basically summer, right? There's snow on the ground, but it's summer. It feels like summer. So I'm not doing nothing today.
Yeah,
I like some break. I mean, we wake up on Monday and there's not going to be any content to make.
I just kept thinking, I was like, what's the next big thing for Johnny and I? And I was like, because it's off season, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be editing videos. I'm going to be doing my normal job, writing stuff. The next big thing in my head is Battlehawks, is UFL stuff. Besides baseball and, my normal stuff. But, UFL is coming up. Johnny is going to be at the first home game with me for the Battlehawks, which is April 5th.
Am I? Oh, yeah, I am. Okay.
I mean, I invited you.
I told you I was going to go.
You put it on your calendar.
I was trying to seem cool with the glasses.
So we have that coming up. And one of the cool things about the UFL is you have a lot of talent that's returning. So you have AJ McCarron's coming back. Did
you ever get your cameo? Can you tell people the story behind that?
Oh yeah, that's a funny story. So AJ McCarron was delaying releasing information about, if he was coming back to the Battlehawks or not. And obviously it was because he was like negotiating and stuff like making sure the contract makes sense for him. And so I was like, by the way, Battlehawks Twitter, Battlehawks everything, social media is insanely popular. So they have a huge following. So anytime somebody posts something about the Battlehawks, it usually gets a lot of traction. And I posted, I submitted a cameo to AJ McCarron, and I said, here's a screenshot. It was to AJ McCarron for myself to the Battlehawks. I said, I want AJ to say the following. Hey, Battlehawks, I know you guys miss me, and I've made the decision to come back to the team. See you this spring in St. Louis. Something funny. I took a screenshot and I shared it. And he actually liked, if you go through, he actually liked that post. And then 3 other people on the Battlehawks liked it.
Oh, great. That's amazing.
Which I thought was awesome. I haven't gotten anything. That was, when did I submit that? When did that go out? Yeah, if you go on his likes and you scroll down a little bit, he's seeing all the
stalking his likes. It was there. Did he unlike it?
No, it would have been a week ago if you keep scrolling.
Oh yeah, for the 16th. After his announcement. There's an announcement.
Almost there. He's liking all the stuff was released about him, but
he didn't like.
There it is. So he liked my tweet. Oh my gosh!
He liked your tweet.
He touched me.
Nice. See, that's a cooler interaction than any of mine. I'll be honest with you.
Right. And he hasn't sent me anything, so I'm kind of pissed off. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care.
He's making it special for you. He's gonna film it with his Battlehawks uniform on, and he's going to strip for you, and then bring his
honestly,
wife in
like,
show. I'm kidding.
and Winter said CFL kickoffs on May 20th. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, I'll
coming up as
probably be
well.
watching that too. Any type of football. I mean, CFL's good football, and they're sort of kicking the Arena Football League back up again. There's also an indoor football league.
Yeah, I missed out on all the ads during the Super Bowl. I was
Right.
honestly disappointed. I thought they would like show them on the big screen or something. No,
Mhm.
they just like watch them on your own pace. I guess. They just had boring ass nothing during the commercials. Just nothing. It was just
Mhm.
like, all right, wait for the commercial breaks seem really long in person, man. Like I've been to a game before, obviously,
Mhm.
but not a Super Bowl. Super Bowl breaks, they felt very, 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 very
Long.
delayed.
Yeah, in the I've been to some college football games where it was like, oh shoot, like we're on TV and we're just sitting around waiting, like, because you don't experience that in most other sports, you know.
Yeah, it seemed like they had like a lot of event, like being Packers games. They'll have like stuff in the middle of breaks and like stuff on
Right.
the screen, like play
Right.
videos or whatever during. But yeah, they just didn't really do anything in the
Right.
Super Bowl.
It happens
Yeah,
in
plug 'em
basketball sometimes, but
plug 'em
definitely
in.
not in baseball. Because someone breaks it.
I'm sorry, I'm leaving.
No, you're good. But anyway, so UFL stuff. You know, I'm a big Battlehawks fan. I'll go to some games. I have season tickets, so hopefully I'll go to all of them. And you know, it's supposed to be a good season with merging
It's on
with
for everyone.
the better teams of the USFL. So we'll see. College football night commercial breaks are so long. Yes, that was actually my experience. So,
Very professional show. Very professional show. Very great show.
but you know, Johnny, at the end of the day, I'm just excited that there's some form of football happening in the off season.
Yeah.
And I'm, you know, hopefully we can do some fun, cool stuff in the off season with that. And I'd love to do more like breakdowns of, you know, some of the stuff that happens in the NFL.
You do some film breakdowns for us?
You know, once I
Mr.
get some editing experience, I think I'm going to do, you know, because there's no market for that right now, you know, like, or there's nobody that does film breakdown for
XFL? Yeah.
XFL or UFL.
UFL, I should say.
You know,
See, I want to say
maybe there are some,
USFL
but it's
and
like-
XFL. So.
Yeah. So, important question for Bryan. Is it Bryan like on Twitter or Bryan here? You know, that's a long
Bryan just
story.
revealed his identity. He was ashamed of us for the longest time.
Yeah,
And
so
he
it's
was
BRI.
he was like, no, now that Tom and Johnny went to the Super Bowl and Tom won Fan of the Year, and now I guess I'll affiliate my real name with him.
So I
get it.
spelled
I
with Y
understand.
for a long time.
So my dad did. He was like, I'm not claiming him until he does something.
That
I
was
still haven't heard
mainly
from him.
because. Well, can I tell my story, Johnny?
Sorry.
No, I mainly spelled it with a Y because I used to have a job where I was afraid of people like looking up my Twitter, looking up my. Not that I was saying anything weird but I was afraid that, you know, I was in like a work environment where people were like, "Why are you tweeting during work?" You know, that type of stuff. Or why are you? So I like made up a different name, Bryan Burgers. My real name's Bryan Gertler.
Gertler.
Gertler is a Jewish name. But I go by, you know, in college I was B Gert, Johnny Barge.
What up, B Gert?
T Semp was our friend Tyler Semple. We had did a lot of hip hop stupid stuff.
That was before the word simp. He would have had to change his rap name. That's funny.
T Semp, SEMP, but it definitely sounds like simp when you're just saying it. You know, so I changed my name to B Gert Sports, and that's a little bit of a background of my name. If anybody was curious, don't stalk.
Thanks for sharing with the clients.
Don't stalk me on Google.
Stalk him on Google and on LinkedIn.
If you Google my name, you're gonna find a lot of information about me because I am very active on LinkedIn and public stuff. So
find out your salary and your address and find out where you live.
You probably could, honestly.
You have to remove yourself from those sites. You should have to pay them though.
I don't know how to do that, but maybe you can help me after this video, this show.
We'll do it. We're gonna scrub your name.
Well, Johnny, I think that's it. We've been on for a while, and we didn't really have much structure, but I was glad we got to hear from you.
It was a good conversation. No, I appreciate y'all. It was a fun time. I should have organized my thoughts a little bit better.
No, it's good.
It was a good week, and you guys made it possible. And I just waste time on this stupid show, but at the end of the day, making something out of football content, making it positive is such a very cool.
That's a rare.
That's a privileged thing to be able to do. And even larger large channels larger than Tom can't do half of what he can do through the chaotic good, man. And it's really exciting to think about. And it's motivating. And you guys are very, very kind to me specifically, and I appreciate y'all.
Well, Johnny,
being kind to the editor, where a lot of editors just kind of go under the radar, and that's the point. But I appreciate y'all showing the appreciation.
That was a beautiful. That was a beautiful monologue.
You're a beautiful monologue. All right, folks, we did it. We'll try to be back next week. We'll see what happens.
All right.
I might go under the radar. I might just run away forever. Well, no, who knows? That's how many.
Your eye doesn't heal.
Until it heals, we're gonna stay off air. I got an injury. Yeah, I was gonna put makeup on it, but I don't have makeup.
Oh, that would have been a good idea. I like the sunglasses though.
I thought it was a good look, and it makes me feel cool. So
right on.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate it. I mean, I really do appreciate y'all. It means a lot. But we're gonna end it here. So I appreciate y'all. I've said it 6 times now. But I'm Johnny Barks.
This is B Gert Sports. Take her
Until
easy.
next time, have a wonderful Sunday night.